What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for a predicted lineup. Chelsea against Spurs at Stamford Bridge tomorrow night under the lights, which promises to be a ferocious atmosphere. Poch has been speaking in a press conference saying he still feels very emotional about Spurs, and Ange has been speaking in the press conference talking about our mounting injuries, to be fair now. So Brian, thanks for joining us today. What's the injury news coming into this?
Let's have a look. Oh my God, it really is. It's like a shopping list, isn't it? Destiny Udogie, injured. Timo Werner, injured. Ben Davies, Ollie Skipp, Manor Solomon, Ryan Sessegnon, and Fraser Forster are out on the injury list.
Yeah, it's actually mad when you look at that injury list because, like, apart from Skipp, Skipp is back, I believe. He's been said in the press conference. So you can forget Skipp. I mean, apart from Fraser Forster, everyone is a left-sided player.
It's just our
every
luck,
single
isn't it?
one. Destiny, Timo, Davis, Solomon, and Sessegnon.
Yep, just our luck. You can't get any more Spursy than that, can you?
Very, very frustrating. But look, a big game this weekend. We don't have a good record at Stamford Bridge. We'll get into the nitty-gritty on the match preview. But let's get into the predicted lineup, which is a bit of a difficult one to predict this week, seeing as we do have those injuries and underperforming players as well. But we are going to go in our usual 4-3-3 formation. In goal, Vicario, and he's come under big pressure in recent weeks from the corners, and he needs to step it up massively, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I mean, listen, let's not get it wrong. He's had an incredible debut season. Shot stopping, second to none, everything we wanted. But he has come under a lot of pressure and needs to be a lot stronger in set pieces. And Chelsea will try and target this. So hopefully Vicario will show a bit more strength and resilience at set pieces tomorrow.
Right back, we're going to stick with Pedro Porro, seeing as our other right back might be playing in a different position. But in my opinion, I think Pedro Porro is not on the greatest form. I think defensively he's doing well, but on an offensive standpoint, which is the strong point of his game, he needs to be doing more, in my opinion.
He does, but again, I think the Crystal Palace game where he picked up the knock and we continued playing him, and then Newcastle picked up a knock, we continued playing him. I don't know how much pain he's still in. He's match fit, but is he 100% rare and ready to go? But yeah, those qualities have been lacking, and hopefully in this game he will do better.
Right centre-back, obviously, will be Cuti Romero, coming under a lot of praise after the North London derby. And I don't remember the last time he conceded 3 goals in the North London derby, and our 2 centre-backs were the ones coming out with the biggest praises. But Romero is definitely, I think he's in contention to potentially win even Spurs' Player of the Year this year.
I think he is. When you look at it, he has been outstanding. He has been outstanding. A lot of his good work goes under the radar because of obviously the incredible pace and athleticism of his partner, Mickey van der Ven, who I adore. But Cuti Romero, even you look at it, his disciplinary record since that sending off at Chelsea has been exemplary. He looked like the man in recent games that's like, right, I'm going to deal with this myself and try and get us back into the game. I think you're in with a great shout of what you said of Player of the Season. He has been magnificent, and we need him to be on his best kind of performance that he put in yesterday to have any success tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And alongside him will obviously be Mickey van der Ven, who as well I think is another player who's probably in contention for Player of the Year this season.
Yeah, for me, he is Player of the Year. I adore this man. I think he's been magnificent. His injuries, I think if he hadn't had his injuries, he would have walked this award. He's vital to everything they do. We've seen a lot of people, as before with Destiny, say maybe him on the left. As much as he can play there, I think it would harm the team monumentally if he was pushed out wide. So he has to start in the centre.
And then to make up the back four at left back, we are going for Emerson Royale. You got a bit of a spoiler before. Davis out, Destiny Udogie out, Sessegnon out, Reguilon on loan. So I guess Emerson is the last point of call.
The one and only. There is no other option. Let's just hope he can put in a performance. He has been a bit hit and miss this season, but let's hope tomorrow is a big fat hit.
In the number 6 position, we are going to return to the side for Yves Bissouma. Højbjerg did start the North London derby, didn't do himself any favours, and I think it was the wrong call from Postecoglou to play Højbjerg in that game, and I think Bissouma comes straight back in, albeit a man not on the greatest form himself.
Yeah, I think, listen, if we look at it recently, whoever plays in that number 6, we're going to question, is that the right person right now? Is he going to have the game that we need? Bissouma needs to snap out of it. And what better place to try and snap out of it and put in a performance than at the Bridge? It's like I've said multiple times, it's the position I think is imperative, like the most important to sort out in the summer. But let's just hope Bissouma can return to the form we know he has.
Moving into the number 8 position, we are going to favour Pape Matar Sarr, who I think was really good when he came on the North London derby and the last stage of the game. I think it was a mistake by Ange not to play him. I think you can see Bentancur just ain't 100% fit just yet, so I think Sarr has to play.
Yeah, I mean, we both love Sarr. I think he's been brilliant. He's another one that could be in for a shout for player of the season. He's really stepped in and done a great job. He's had that niggling back injury. Hopefully what we saw from when he came on, you're right. I love what he did to block Ben White from Sonny, the protector. And I think this is a game made for him. So I really hope that we're right here and we do see Pape Matar Sarr started against Chelsea.
Yeah, and then alongside them to make up that middle 3, we are sticking with James Maddison in the starting lineup. I mean, a lot of Spurs fans, including myself, would probably like to see the likes of Kulusevski or Giovanni Lo Celso replace Maddison in the lineup this week. But after what Ange has been saying about Maddison, it does seem like he is going to persist with him.
It does, and if this was who we want to see as opposed to who we predict we'll see, I would put Giovanni Lo Celso in there straight away. I think Maddison needs a rest. He hasn't looked sharp or at all at it since he's come back. But as you said, with what we heard from Ange Postecoglou, it looks like he will prevail with James Maddison.
On the right-hand side of the attack, it is a toss-up between Dejan Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson. But on the back of the Kulusevski performance in the North London derby and the ability for Brennan Johnson to come on and change games, we are going to stick with Dejan Kulusevski, albeit I would like to see him add a bit of end product, because I thought he was brilliant in the North London derby, but it was still that end product missing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on this channel and my channel being very, very critical and even called him predictability for most of the season, but he did come on, and for the first half of the North London derby, I thought he was our best player by far. But again, that missing end product is a concern. But I think the better side of this is what we saw with Brennan Johnson when he came on. He certainly had Arsenal concerned, and I think he can have a bigger impact in this game from the bench, and that's why we've gone Kulusevski.
And then up top, we are going for Richarlison, seeing as Timo Werner is out. We think Richarlison could start this game, and he came on and probably should have got man of the match just for barging into Gabriel like the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, even when he put that, he's put a tweet out or Instagram out saying Brazil's number 9 against someone who can't even get onto the subs bench of Brazil's centre backs. So I love Richie. And this is a game made for him, really, isn't it? This is going to be a heated, fiery derby, and Richarlison is the man with his shithousery and everything. So I think he starts, and in all honesty, I think he scores. So delighted to see that Richie will be starting this game, or hopefully starting this game.
And on the left-hand side, it's the call that everyone's been calling for, isn't it? Sonny back on the left. I do feel like in this kind of game, with the tactics Chelsea deploy with a slightly high line, that Son is probably best suited playing down the middle. But with Timo Werner out and Richarlison probably coming in, we think Sonny to be on the left.
Yeah, I think it's by default that he's playing there. And you know what? Thankfully, by default, he is playing there, because playing back on his natural position could be the little confidence booster that he needs, because he does look a little bit low on confidence. He got the penalty in the North London derby. Hopefully this will be the game that will spark his confidence and get him back fit and firing.
Yeah, in all honesty, like, everyone's been making a lot of a big meal out of Sonny's performances recently, but I don't 100% blame Sonny for these performances. I think that the service into him has been absolutely shocking. So maybe to turn him into a bit of a provider can add something for us into the game.
Well, you say that, Ben, but also you look at it, that one chance that he had in the North London derby where he blazed it over in the first half. If there's anyone in the Spurs team you want in that position right now, it would have been him. And obviously, the finish didn't live up to what he's capable of. But like you said, the service to him has been a big problem. We spoke earlier about the crossing from Timo Werner, and obviously whether it's been Kulusevski or Johnson. So having Son being more of a provider and running into space could be the thing that turns him round. So let's hope it is, and he's back in his natural position.
Well, let's run through that predicted lineup for you guys one more time. In goal, Vicario, right back Porro, left back Emerson, centre back pairing is Romero and Van der Ven once again. Bissouma and Sarr back in the team with Maddison to make up that middle three. Dejan Kulusevski, Heung-min Son supporting Richarlison up top. If this is the lineup that we're going for, what is your score prediction, Brian?
Oh. Again, I'm going to do my heart is saying we're going to get a draw. My head is saying something I don't want to really say. Let's put it that way. I just honestly, and do you know what? It's not even the team that Chelsea put out. This ground is just a nightmare for us. We all know how bad our record is, and unfortunately, I can't see. I can only see a draw at best.
I'm going to go for 2-2. I think it's going to be a lot of goals in this. Both teams don't really know how to defend set pieces. I think you're definitely probably going to see a Thiago Silva goal from a corner, the way with his aerial ability and our lacking from set pieces. So I think you're going to see two probably poor, I don't want to say two poor sides, but two sides that you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know which side are going to turn up, and especially Spurs' away form. We're just not performing away. So I can see two very open sides going head to head and maybe splitting the spoils like you. So thank you, Brian, for coming on today. Everyone, do go and subscribe to Tottenham on Tour. Check out our preview coming out very soon as well. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.